What Bill Wagner is exposing is so important. There are open announcements that they want a kindler, gentler internet with taxes on alternative speech, with government watchdog agencies that superimpose through the browser on the computer, government counter messages to, quote, bring balance. We're talking about the end of free speech. And in public schools, in colleges, in corporations, Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com is blocked. And it's one thing if a private corporation does it. That's their right. But then they slander me. They defame me by saying I'm teaching hatred. And they say in some of the databases we've gotten screenshots of, hacking. There's nothing, or criminal activity. That's one of the new ones I'm seeing in these databases. And now the FCC is announcing they control the internet. They're going to regulate it. The FTC is announcing it. And they're saying openly that, oh, we're going to take your tax money and then provide you 3 and 4G nationwide. So the government not only runs General Motors and a lot of the big oil companies and has control over the banks now in this merger of corporations and government, this inside crony capitalism that we have, this fraud. It's not free market. Now they're going to take your tax money and compete with the other 3 and 4G networks, or do contracts, they're saying, with government to where the government gives contracts to run the, quote, public networks through AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, and others. And then our sites will be blocked from those as part of the filter protection. So this is what Internet 2 really is. Going back to Mr. Wagner, from your research, what are some other ways they're planning with this cocktail of moves? How do you see them implementing all these announcements with cybersecurity? Obama saying, I may have to shut the web off to protect it. I mean, they're really coming out in the open. And how far away do you think they are from really starting to drop the hammer on us?
Well, I think this. I think there is no way they could ever drop the hammer on all of us, because the Internet, what they would do is if they did that, let's say Mr. Obama, that's what I'll call him, just Mr. Obama, is that he said, I've heard him say it, yeah, might have to turn the Internet off. Well, let me tell you what would happen if that was the case. It would create more hackers than he could ever imagine. Right now we have hacker problems as it is. Now, if he decided to shut the Internet off, and say it's going to be all government controlled, everything we say, the FCC, FTC, blah, blah, all this, there would be hackers everywhere. Do you think that people, I don't think people, I know the will of people always prevail, at least in my opinion. I've learned things in my life, in my 16 years of doing this, of how to beat these people. Okay, I see it going this way. I see Facebook dying, saying bye-bye. The more we talk about this, the more they're going to go away. I see these companies like Google, the more we talk about this, them going away. But there's one company that we have to, if we can get this one company, this one organization off our backs and hold them accountable, called Spam House. You have to look this up, Alex. It's just so important. SPAMHAUS.org. Once we shut these guys down, then everything is possible.
Well, isn't that just a rating service that is creating some of the databases that are used? Well, that are creating the databases of what they say is spam.
That's what they claim. But no. They're the ones that tell these providers what to do. They're the ones that read your email. They're the ones that tell the companies, like I said, they're the ones that tell Google what to do. I don't know how these people in Britain get this power, but they are the ones. It's them. When I first started off my Internet career, these people immediately attacked me. Immediately. I would get death threats every single day. They're attacking me to this day. But
I have to be honest with you. The stuff you're saying about Facebook and Google, I have articles about. But I don't know enough about this organization, to be able to say that they're the ones sending you death threats.
Well, Alex, let me tell you, it's very hard to find out unless you've been there. You know what I'm saying? No.
Hey, listen, I've definitely got to read your book. Does your book cover all this?
Yes, it does, in detail.
Well, listen, do this. I appreciate you coming on with us, and I appreciate you being on the show.
I appreciate you bringing me on the show, man.
You bet. I'm gonna get your address, and we're gonna give you our address right now. So off air, and send me your book, because I wanna read that and investigate that for myself, because I know about Google, I know about Facebook, I know about these other organizations. I don't know about the group that you're speaking about, and so I don't really like to get into things that I haven't personally researched. And then we have guests on who expand on things, but that's very interesting. I'm sorry that you say that organization has been out to get you. Some other news that I wanted to hit on here, and a lot of this is up on GCNlive.com, is publisher slaps outdated warning on U.S. Constitution founding documents. This article is also up on prisonplanet.com. Warns parents that Declaration of Independence should be contextualized for kids. And it goes on to basically say it's an outdated old document. Here's a quote. This book is a product of its time and does not reflect the same values as it would if it were written today. They also provide advice to parents seeking to educate their children on U.S. history. Parents might wish to discuss with their children how views on race, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, and interpersonal relationships have changed since this book was written, before allowing them to read the classic work. And so they put out a copy of the Constitution, and God forbid somebody just read the Constitution for themselves. No, they've got to put an advisory on it, like, parental discretion is advised before an R-rated or NC-17 movie comes on. We first reported on this about a month ago, but Fox News has picked it up now, so that article's up on GCNlive.com. And continuing, angry progressives shut down Madam Pelosi for not delivering stolen goods. And it says even the foundation-sponsored socialists are mad at the government. On Tuesday, a few of them gave Madam Pelosi a piece of their mind during an American Future Now conference sponsored by Campaign for America Future, a branch of the Democratic Party. And they want their free health care. Well, I'm sorry you didn't read the bill. The insurance companies wrote it. It cuts Medicare and Medicaid by $40+ billion apiece, so $80+ billion a year to start with. It allows insurance companies to lower the standard of care with comparative care, is the buzzword. It does create the federal panels that set policy through computer directives to dentists, doctors, you name it. It just decimates everything and doesn't give coverage to children and people with pre-existing conditions. So, yeah, you get free health care in Cuba. You get a bad knee, they give you a cane. You get bad eyesight, they give you a walking stick. Maybe you get a shot of steroids in the back if you got a bad back. I mean, okay, so Code Pink harangue Pelosi and demand Democrats make good on their promise to steal from the producers and give to the constituency. And again, these are kind of like a fungus that the New World Order releases of well-meaning socialists. I mean, they really believe what they're selling. And they basically sprinkle it like you put something on a crop to kill it. The CIA's been caught doing that. They just sprinkle them out there. They produce big government. Then we go into debt to the bankers, and then we're bankrupt. And we're all dependent on government, and then we all basically live in squalor cities with sewage running down the middle of the street. And areas of America now look like that. Many areas of Florida and California and Texas. And soon there'll be sewage everywhere, except for armored compounds up on the hill where the tiny local wealthy people live who serve the elite. And so you want sewage and chickens running around the street, you get it. I mean, everywhere the globalists take over, sewage and chickens running around the street. So land of the sewage, home of the chickens.